Thanks for checking out the BoshNRoll channel. If you want to support what's going on here while getting amazing perks like the Discord community, have me play your deck, and my list and sideboard guides before tournaments, join the Patreon or YouTube membership. This channel is made possible by these amazing sponsors. Check them out and support them. Their links are in the video description. Thanks again for being here. Now let's go play some Magic. Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel. Today I'm playing Legacy, and I was given a dealer's choice as a birthday present to Jeremy, who is the CEO of our sponsor, 7Factor Software. Shout out to Jeremy and 7Factor. Happy birthday, dude. And with this dealer's choice that let me play whatever I want, I decided to make good on something I hinted at a couple weeks ago the first time I played Mercurial Spelldancer. When I started brewing around this card, I got really excited that it was a rogue, and I ended up putting Notorious Throng into an otherwise normal Legacy deck just for the hope to prowl it one day, which didn't happen in the game, unfortunately, but it did inspire a deep dive on Prowl cards and rogues, which found me Morsel Theft, which is a card, believe it or not, I have played against in Legacy before. 2 black, target player loses 3 life, you gain 3 life, Prowl 1 and a black. And Prowl is, you can pay the Prowl cost if your opponent took damage from a rogue this turn. So 1 and a black, you get a half price discount on this thing, and if the Prowl cost was paid, you draw a card. This effect kind of sucks at 4 mana, but it's Lightning Helix with a cantrip, if you can Prowl it. And if you were to, say, double it with Mercurial Spelldancer, that's a 12 life swing and you're up a card. You replace the card and you're up a card. It's Divination with a 12-point life swing. That'll get an opponent dead real fast. Life gain also conveniently pads your Thoughtseizes and Snuffouts, which the deck relies on. Even have a Watery Grave in this deck because it's pure Dimir. I wanted to make sure I always had an Underground Sea to fetch, even if I went through the first 4. The rogues I've selected to turn this thing on is, of course, Mercurial Spelldancer. That's the reason we're here. The reason this deck even is being tried. Unblockable Phyrexian Rogue. When you cast a non-creature spell, oil it up, and when it deals damage to an opponent, you can take 2 oils off it to double your next spell this turn. Gothy Voidwalker, also a rogue, functionally unblockable because it has Shadow, built-in Graveyard Hate, relevant against the entire format. I love playing this card. Brazen Borrower, Petty Theft is a pseudo removal spell, and the 3/1 that comes afterwards is also a rogue. And of course, True Name Nemesis is a rogue, untouchable. I've seen Delver adopting this card again lately to tangle with the initiative, and it's a good card to have in your main deck. And it's one that very easily goes into this deck. 12 creatures in the deck, every single one of them is a rogue, every single one of them is either unblockable or has some sort of evasion. A card that is not in the deck that I looked at for a while is Noggin Whack, which is target player reveals 3 cards from their hand, you choose 2 of them, that player discards those cards. For 4 mana, and Prowl is 2. This doesn't cantrip or anything. If you get the Prowl off, it just costs half as much. And my original build had a bunch of these in it, and then I realized we're just working really hard to get something that's probably still worse than Hymn to Turok, which is a card that's legal in the format. That's why Noggin Whack is not appearing in this deck. I just up the Hymn to Turok count instead. Mostly the same effect. Sometimes it'll be better than that effect, and it doesn't require anything, just 2 black mana. At the top end here, this may be disappointing to folks who enjoyed the Notorious Throng in the last video. Just regular old Time Warp. Notorious Throng is a Time Warp with Prowl that also makes extra creatures, but the Prowl cost is 6, and you need to Prowl it for it to do anything. The base mode is make a bunch of 1/1s if your opponent took damage this turn, and if you're not dealing damage with this deck, then you don't have Prowl, and you only get the Time Warp if you Prowl, and the Time Warp costs 6. This Time Warp costs 5. This is just a much better card for what we're trying to do, even if it's slightly off theme. If we double it with Mercurial Spelldancer, we're going to feel like we're roguing out anyway. This is the more responsible way to build this. Snuff Out, an exciting card to double with Spelldancer. Sheoldred's Edict. I'm trying this one out. I'm not sure if it's better than Sudden Edict. I also have Sudden Edict in the sideboard. But this is a sweet new card. Hitting Planeswalker is pretty important. Dimir is not known for its ability to tangle with onboard Planeswalkers very well. I put a Mystic Sanctuary in the deck, which I'm a little worried about because if I have ever fetched Basic Swamp, it'll be a long time before I get to Sanctuary. But lately, a lot of my brews, I've felt like I've left Mystic Sanctuary out because I'm worried it wouldn't happen on curve. And then I end up in game states where I wish I had Mystic Sanctuary available. I'm just going to YOLO put it in the deck this time. And the biggest thing about this deck, other than the fact it's a wild brew and legacy, is that Force of Will is in the sideboard. This is a conversation I've been having with people lately. How often does Force of Will do what you need it to in this format right now? Initiative has Cavern of Souls. Delver has Daze and main deck Pyroblast. You board out Force in a lot of these matchups anyway and just try to play to the board. You really only want it against dedicated combo. And even those decks are pretty well stacked up against Force of Will these days, with a bunch of free discard spells. A lot of Storm decks play Silence over Veil of Summer, which means that you'd rather have discard effects than counter spells anyway. And this deck is hardy on discard. Got 4 Thoughtseize and 3 Hymn to Turok in the main deck, 2 Flusterstorms in the main deck for counter magic, and then we can board in the forces if they're appropriate. But I'm going to try to pick up my opponent's hand and beat them down and end the game quickly. That's kind of what I'm hoping for here, and hope that I don't need Force of Will to do it. This is a confluence of multiple theories and ideas that I've had kicking around at the same time, all put into one sweet, sweet brew challenge. Jeremy, happy birthday. This one's for you. Let's go play it. I'm on the draw in round 1. No Thoughtseize in this hand. That's okay. I can Island Ponder, set up a Spelldancer or a Voidwalker as appropriate. I'm going to resist the urge to fetch Basic Island basically ever, unless it's hyper important, because there's a lot of black spells in this deck. Island Ornithopter. Okay. This is ninjas, I guess. Oh, Snuff Out is cracked. Perfect. I'm going to Ponder, and then I can Snuff Out the Construct. I was going to say, we'll see how this shakes out, but I like where it's going now. Okay, Thoughtseize and Brainstorm are both here. Those are good cards. And I'm just going to snuff this Construct. Cool. Tried to blitz me, didn't work. Yeah, Prismatic Vista with Retrofitter Foundry in the deck. This is definitely ninjas. And I think I just... Well, they did mulligan. My instinct is to get Mercurial Spelldancer down, but they mulliganed. They have 3 cards left. I blew out their opening salvo. If they can make a servo here and then connect and get a ninja going next turn, that's the way that this falls apart. I'm going to Brainstorm Thoughtseize. Cool. Yeah, I wanted to find land number 3. And Rename Nemesis, really good at not taking damage. Children's Edict, I think I'll Morsel Theft later. I want to find that when I'm set up for it, not right now. Mono fetching Underground Seas here. And let's take a peek. Brainstorm in response. That means they can't make a servo, which means they won't have a creature even if they find the ninja. Ninjas is usually not a wasteland deck either. Brainstorm has resolved. And 2 Force of Wills in the hand. I guess I'll take one of them. That's fine with me. Clearing the way for True Name. My life total is low already. There's the island we knew about. They could just cast Yuriko this turn, or they could hold up Force of Will. Okay. I can get their hand empty and then try to resolve a creature next turn. Or I could just jam True Name Nemesis into this now. I'm going to Hymn. Well, no, they're 2 cards back on Brainstorm. They know their top card right now. If they hid the best card 2 cards down, they could Force of Will this turn and then jam Yuriko. Don't want to get dazed. Force gets their hand empty. Him also gets their hand empty. What's my game plan if this True Name doesn't work? Okay, I'm going to Hymn now. I'm going to use my life total as a resource, take this hit, whatever it ends up being, and then we'll operate off a empty hand next turn. There's a Retrofitter Foundry in their hand. Okay, would have got away with that. Let's just hope they didn't hide Yuriko on top with Brainstorm. There's the ninja, or the servo, and no shuffle, so they did hide a good card on the top. I have Children's Edict that can answer it. Let's just hope I don't get too buried in the meantime. Yeah, this is definitely what I was worried about. Okay, which one is it? It is the good one. I will take some extra damage here, but at least we know it's in their hand. It's Changeling Outcast that they can't currently cast. Okay. I'm going to fetch my Watery Grave while it's free to do. I'd love to draw land this turn. Flusterstorm, not what I was looking for. Yeah, True Name has to get between me and this. Jericho. The Changeling Outcast is a beating. But if I make them sacrifice a non-token creature, they either don't have their unblockable or they don't have the Jericho that triggers it. Played a land for turn, and they are hellbent over there. Once again, deck, I would love to draw land. And Childred's Edict playing around the Retrofitter Foundry. Land. Ooh, Morsels. Maybe next turn. Yeah, I just can't let them go ninja crazy on me here. Sacrifice a non-token creature. Oh, this is each opponent, doesn't even target. That's sweet. Yeah, if I had been able to Spelldancer, oil it up there, we might have had a crazy next turn. But instead, I am navigating from the back foot, but starting to stabilize here. I would probably keep the Outcast myself and try to spike the next ninja, because Yuriko is totally blanked by True Name. Okay, perfect. They kept the Yuriko. That's better for me. I'm excited about that. Not attacking. I'm not going to try to erase Yuriko from 10 life. Morsel Theft, if I can get this thing oiling and going crazy, is going to be nuts. Because we're in basically a damage race here. If they drew another ninja, they can just fire in servo as a chump attack, lose Yuriko, and ninja something else. Or they can just hide behind Retrofitter Foundry, flip this into a flyer, and then start poking my low life total. There's very few spells in their deck that Flusterstorm actually affects here. They have 4 mana, only 1 card in hand, unlikely to get a big storm count here. Okay, they drew a ninja. Gonna block Yuriko. This is the only thing that makes sense. This is Ingenious Infiltrator, which will trigger Yuriko on the way out. That was brutal. They get to draw a card and flip a card. They flipped Ingenious Infiltrator. All right, I'm at 4 suddenly. I'm actually dead on board. Yeah, I'm in some trouble. Mercurial Spelldancer can block, which is not what I want to do with this card, but it might be what I have to do with this card because... Oh, I'm not dead on board. I'm at 2 on board. Yuriko is gone. Right. But they do get to draw a bunch of cards. Okay, I'll play Spelldancer, and then Brainstorm and see what happens. I'm not worried about flustering here. They're hellbent, and like I said, they basically don't have cards anyway. Here's all these lands I've been looking for the whole game. Are any of them helpful now? If I fetch, I'm at even lower. I don't fetch. Okay. This is the one fetch land in my deck that doesn't get Mystic Sanctuary. Yeah, literally 1. Bummer. That doesn't... I really want to draw a spell, so I guarantee doubling Morsel Theft next turn and getting out of reach. Guess I'm putting Bloodstained Mire here and hoping I'm not dead. They make a servo in the end step. Servo's a basically free attack into Spelldancer that is smaller than this card. Or 2-1. 2-2 would be totally stable and fine. Doing something pre-combat. Brainstorm. Okay, this is actually great. Because if they pay for Brainstorm on Fluster, then they don't get to ninja this turn. And now I'm oiled up for next turn. That worked out extremely well. If they just don't pay for Brainstorm and attack for 2, I'm going to go to 1. Let them draw 2 cards, and then try to Morsel out. Didn't pay for Brainstorm. They know what's going on here. They get to draw 2 cards off this attack. I guess I just got to hope they didn't draw Yuriko. That might actually kill me. It's the other Infiltrator. I go to 1. They draw 2 cards. No! Not like this. Curses. I worked so hard on that. That's alright. I can still steal some morsels this turn. Mishra's Bauble. See what you're going to draw. Haze. Okay. An attack with True Name. Now we're just in a slugfest. I'm going to steal their morsels. Ripped another Spelldancer. Is it too late for that, or is this great? Might as well put it into play. It can at least block, which Dauthi Voidwalker can't. Okay, if I block Ingenious Infiltrator this turn, lose my Spelldancer, then just stabilize behind True Name, that's a potential path forward. They're tapping Black Mana again. I don't approve of this. Dead drop. Oh god, target player sacks 2 creatures. Yeah, that's a card they had in their deck for sure. Okay. Yep. I spent a lot of life points trying to get that double morsel theft off, and they stabilized against it. Okay, I'm dead. Yeah, I should have just jammed with True Name. In hindsight's 2020, but jamming with True Name in that first opportunity to do so would have been great. Null Rod and Sudden Edict come in, and I think that's it. I don't want to force will this deck. Dress Down's not irrelevant. See what I want to cut. God, why does it look like this? Okay, that's better. That was still in the wrong view from my Zoo deck I recorded recently. Edict and Null Rod in. I do like Thoughtseize. Null Rod steps on my Baubles a little bit, and Bauble's not that important to this overall strategy. Void Walker's awkward because it does turn on my Prowl stuff, but it doesn't do anything else in the matchup. Dress Down can at least shut down Yuriko business, and some builds play Urza Saga. I don't really like Saga in ninjas, but it's a thing that could happen. Oh, Voidwalker, we just got blown out by a Delve spell. I'm bringing a Voidwalker back in and cutting a Dress Down. Okay, I'll run it like this. Snuff Out is pretty mediocre against their deck too. It does stop some of the enablers, but it misses on a lot too. Okay, on the play with Thoughtseize into Voidwalker or him, keep. This is the hand we're looking for. Gonna sandbag Polluted Delta, because that can get any land in my deck. Start with the less good fetches. Opponent's on 6. I love when opponents mulligan into my discard strat. It's the whole game plan here. Force a Negation Pitching Ponder, sure. Him to Turok resolves. We're probably protecting a Retrofitter. That's the thing worth protecting on turn 1 like that. Changeling Outcast, okay. Let's see if they have Daze and... Well, if they Daze, they can't Yuriko. Not even mad about it. Gonna beat this hand up. Him to Turok. Ninjas does sometimes play back to basics. Just gonna hope to dodge that. Force of Will, Plague Engineer hit the graveyard. Okay. So they either have land number 2 or Ninja in their hand, but not both, unless they just ripped it. Oh my god. Okay. If I had gotten Yuriko there, I would have quit Magic. Okay, opponent is all the way hellbent here. And I'm to start doing rogue business. I'm gonna guarantee the creature in play rather than brainstorm try to hit a land. I don't want to take any risks after I've bought this breathing room for myself. Drew another Ornithopter, that's good news. Enough out, okay. Now I could brainstorm and take some risks, or I could just steal their morsels and draw a card. I'm gonna brainstorm here. Oh my god, blown out. Okay, I don't need Thoughtseize for a while, and put away Dress Down, I guess. That sucked. That's why I didn't do that last turn. And them having 2 Ornithopters in play means Snuff Out doesn't even take them off a big ninja turn. No ninjas, please. Oh no. 2 Ornithopters are in. This might mean nothing. It might mean they have it. God, it's even Yuriko. This is my nightmare. Well, we've lost. Brainstorm misses, and then we're dead. Story of my life. Prismatic Vista and Ingenious Infiltrator, they found another ninja. And I know I'm drawing blanks here. Well, that's not true. They're not blanks. I can block and trade with Yuriko, because without the Voidwalker loses Shadow. Everything loses all its other abilities. Beat Yuriko. They can flip in Ingenious Infiltrator, which doesn't get any triggers. Okay, let's figure this out. The ninjas is so good. Okay, they're attacking. Gonna Dress Down. Dress Down's in. I draw the Thoughtseize, and I get to blocks. Block Yuriko. Kill that. It might as well flip in the 2 damage here. Doesn't have any abilities, but it still does 2 damage. Okay, now I'm drawing a new card for the first time. Sudden Edict. Wow, that's bad. The second Ornithopter has just run roughshod over this game. If they only had one, I could have snuffed it, and then they're just not doing ninja stuff to start with. And now the second one is you see what's going on here. It's a tough scene. I guess I just have to race. Yuriko's gone. They're drawing a million cards. There's no opportunity to brazen borrow these creatures either, because they can just jump back in combat. Okay, let's steal some morsels. Through a brainstorm. Not super helpful. Brace is on. Please don't have another Yuriko. The Ornithopters are attacking. That can only mean disaster for me. Oh good, it's just Infiltrator. They're only going to draw 6 cards. Not burn me for 6 also. Engine fully operational here. We're just watching Ninja's Goldfish. Voidwalker has put 0 things into the void. Every card they've played has just ended up somewhere else. Okay, there's a Prismatic Vista in the void. It'll push. Yep. Very dead. Yeah, this game brought to you by that brainstorm missing. When I said the turn before, I'm not going to brainstorm and miss and risk getting blown out, then I brainstormed and missed and got blown out on the following turn. Should have stuck to my guns there. If I dress down that first ninja block, this is a totally different game. GG though. Ninja's very good at beating exactly what I'm doing here.
You come here to level up at Magic. To level up as a software engineer, check out the new YouTube series Dev Better, hosted by the founder of 7 Factor Software and Magic player, Jeremy Duvall. 7 Factor's small teams of high-performing engineers build custom mobile apps, APIs, and highly scalable systems for Fortune 500 companies and ambitious startups with great ideas. If you'd like to hire 7 Factor, or maybe join their team, contact them through their website at 7factor.io. And don't forget to subscribe to 7 Factor's YouTube for every episode of Dev Better.
I'm on the draw against Lightwalker, who wanted to say hi. Everyone say hi to Lightwalker. I am going to keep my hand. It's a little slow, but I'd love a Hymn to Turok. Once Upon a Time. Okay. Elvish Spirit Guide. That's not the initiative. Ancient Stirrings off Elvish Spirit Guide. Finding Karn. If they miss a land drop right now, I'm going to laugh my face off. Okay, that didn't happen. Thoughtseize would be great here. No such luck. Let's see what they do to me here. This is some sort of colorless green stompy deck. Ooh. Missed their second land drop. This is what Hymn to Turok is for. I fetch Water Your Grave now while it's free. Though, I could just jam Spelldancer and make everything better for the rest of the game. I'm doing that. They're farting around. They got a 6-card hand anyway. It's not like Hymn's gonna put them to hellbent. Let's go. Dancing some spells. Are they gonna pay 6 life to dismember? Sure looks like it. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, please don't draw an Ancient Tomb right now. Urza Saga. Okay. Still colorless over there. Bobble. Alright, well, let's do that before Karn resolves. And I'll know if they're drawing a land or not. I need to do anything. They are drawing a land. A Boseiju. I have the option now of Thoughtseizing. The Mystic Sanctuary impeding me here. It would it have to be a black source anyway to what I want to do. I could Hymn and hope to clear scariest card. I could Thoughtseize, but if they have more than one scary card, that's really bad. I could just deploy Voidwalker and pressure Karn. I think I'm going to do that. Voidwalker, get in. Then Mystic Sanctuary. Between Brazen Borrower, Thoughtseize. Because if I just take Karn, then they know to just go nuts with Saga. And if they play Karn this turn, it'll cost them a Saga activation. Unless I just die right now to something Karn wishes for, like Wish for LED, and somehow go off. But I don't think that's what's going on. There's the Boseiju. Ancient Stirrings. Okay, so they are able to use their mana and still do Saga stuff. I get Ancient Stirrings now. If I need to hit a land drop, I can dig. Found another Saga. I have to race Urza Saga tokens while Ancient Tomb is being tapped. And I have Brazen Borrower to the pressure off. I could also Thoughtseize their hand. Oh, I drew a land. Now I can Hymn their hand. Hymn to Turok. I'm going to start there. All this goes into the void. If I hit something that I want to cast out of the void, it's good to go. Endurance in response. Pitch cast. But why? Now there's an Endurance in the void. I got rid of my graveyard. Okay, they must think I'm a Murktide deck, which is fine. I'm not. I did get the Karn and I got the Saga. Do I want to cast Karn against this deck? No, I think I just want to Brazen Borrow. Yeah, so they take 3 off Voidwalker. Then they take 4 off Ancient Tomb. That puts them to 7. They'll end up at 1 from my Morsel Theft. There's construct number 1. Drawn a card. They're just floating. Gonna get another C here. Now C here. Have I made that joke before? I feel like I haven't. Why hasn't that come up before? Seems like it should. Okay, Painter's Servant. If their last card in hand is a mana source and they go for it, I can Brazen B. Seen Spirit Guide, so I'm not free and clear here to just fire off. I feel like they would have just done it. It has to be exactly Spirit Guide to beat me. I can just cast Karn on my turn and not care about this. Yeah, I think that's the play. We're pausing in my upkeep. Okay. I could also just kill them with Morsel Theft. Take all their morsels. Oh my god. That is tempting. I can cast Karn or just bash them. All right, I'm going in. Give me those morsels. I can't cast Veil of Summer right now. All right. Give them to me. Chomp, 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 chomp. And if I draw a land here, I can even Thoughtseize in between. When it's at 3. Give me the morsels. Yeah. Okay. We've got an official Morsel Theft kill on the board. Press down and Null Rod come in. Do I want to Earwig this opponent? Earwig Squad is for combo decks. Don't know if this is a deck that will collapse if it's early, or if 3 specific cards are removed from the deck. I think this is a Force of Will matchup as well. Anyone who has Ancient Tomb in their deck and Giant Payoffs probably needs to be respected for that. Probably don't need Sheoldred's Edict. Snuff out. I'll snuff out if they name black, which they did. Doesn't kill things. Sheoldred's Edict and Sudden Edict might be better than snuff out here. Flusterstorm. We saw some setup stuff like Once Upon a Time and Ancient Stirrings. I'm not going to spend Flusterstorm on that or leave it in my deck just for that. And this looks presentable to me. Doing it. I did just realize in a sad twist of fate that Jeremy, who this league is dedicated to, his favorite card is Force of Will. And I chose for his birthday present to put it in the sideboard instead of the main deck. Sorry, Jeremy. I'm going to keep this hand. It doesn't force, but it does everything else that I need a hand to do in this matchup. Come on, Thoughtseize. Okay, now it forces too. Easy money. I can fetch basic swamp with this land if they like turn to a choke or something. And I would just force that. Okay, we've seen Dismember. We've not seen Veil of Summer, but we can probably make some assumptions about it. I think I just want to Null Rod them. If we're gonna goof around in the dirt here. You want to try to play around my interaction with Veil of Summer. I'll just shove a Null Rod into play. Okay, we're making moves in response. I just fetched in response and then Null Rod resolved. Probably getting Besaged then. Nope. Okay, just untapped. Cool. Once Upon a Time. On turn 3. It's true they've not played a spell yet. Ancient Tomb, Painter's Servant. Sylvan Library. I don't really want to play against this card. I don't want to get Veil of Summer either. Gotta live your life somehow. And if they veil this, then the hymn resolves. Is what it is. Yep. Knew that was there. Could do nothing about it. Haywire Might. That cannot kill my Null Rod. Okay, sweet. I can Spelldancer and Ponder right now. See what we set up here. Dothy Voidwalker. Oh, Voidwalker plus him to Turok next turn is like, give me your deck, please. But none of this sets up Spelldancer. I'm going to shuffle, actually. Ponder, and then I can hymn their whole hand away. I've seen removal, which I'm not excited about, but let's go. They paid the max with Sylvan Library. Ancient Stirrings. Just hoping this Null Rod holds up. They found the Besage for the Null Rod. It's a good start to getting out of this. Played Forest from hand. They have Painter, Besage, and 4 mystery cards. That's a lot of mystery cards. If I ponder into Morsel Theft, they're a 1. That's so funny. Okay, they shocked in Painter. Now if I ponder into Morsel Theft, they're dead. But Veil of Summer is a complete beating. Always is, always will be. Mox Opal, that doesn't currently work, but will on their turn. Mystic Sanctuary. Do I want to put Force of Will in my hand? I think I do. Okay, so I'm going to fetch for an island. Then I'm going to Mystic Sanctuary, Force of Will to the top of my deck. Then I'm going to cast Ponder, and because of their Painter, everything's blue. I can pitch Sheoldred's Edict to Force of Will. They could bestage you right now to force a shuffle. Didn't do it. I'll take it. Okay, 4 cards in your hand. I'll take them. Attacking my opponent's life points. Expel is doubled. I could Sheoldred's Edict twice. That seems worse, though. Okay, oiled up, oiled down. And 2 Hymn to Tarox with Force backup. Please don't have 2 Veil of Summers. Going straight for you here. They know I have Force of Will. They know I have cards in hand. And they made those cards blue, so they know Force works. They got a Besage in response here, which is great, because I didn't want the cards that were on top of my deck. I'll grab Basic Swamp, just for good measure here. Discarded Endurance and Wooded Foothills, and then also Snaring Bridge. Okay. Haywire Might is turned on. I have Force. I have a removal spell. They can... I'll go to 1 if they keep an extra card. Saga, okay. Haywire Might can gain 2 life whenever they feel like it. I have until this Saga finds Grindstone to figure out the rest of my game plan. Morsel Theft. Shit. Okay. Simply attack with my creature. Don't have enough oil to oil down. Opponent is currently on pace to win this game at 1 life. But Might exiling Mox Opal just works at any time. Yeah, I need Morsel Theft. That's the world we live in right now, begging for Morsel Theft. This hit means they can't take any extra cards. It will Force of Will literally anything this turn, even Ancient Stirrings. I don't care. It's got to go. 2. I'll fetch in the end step. Get my Watery Grave. On cantrips, come on. Relevant magic cards. Morsel Theft. Oh no. I guess I'll attack and hope they mess up by playing any spell. Or no, that doesn't matter. Shit. Yeah, I'm just dead. Okay. If I drew even like Ponder, I could have Ponder double Sheoldred's Edict, make them second non-token, then they don't have Painter. But just simply not doing anything does not answer this board. If they get too clever with their Haywire Might, I don't even know what they would do here. What does that even mean? Just try to gain 2 life? I hope they do, but it wouldn't make any sense to do that. Endurance. I'm already dead. No, I'm dead. Okay. Snuff Out does work against Painter. They didn't name black this time, they named blue. Took me for a ride. What if I drew Time Warp on that last turn? That would have been so sick. Okay, we know about Veil of Summer for sure now. Snuff Out in, True Name Nemesis out. Is that how I want to do this? Just a little more removal. And the Morsel Theft would have been great. This is what I'm doing. I'll keep this one. Ready to dance some spells. I'm gonna Ponder off of Underground Sea. Force of Will, Morsel Theft. This is the nuts. We got the nut morsels. Forest, pass. Get another Underground Sea and cast my Spelldancer. Invest in success. Once Upon a Time in response. I'm not going to force that. I'm not going to force basically anything with this green mana up. I will get punked the whole time. Veil of Summer, just a cantrip. That's fine. That must mean they have more than 1 in hand, or they assume I'm playing around it. Or they're just desperate to draw any card and do anything. Okay, I'm going to bet on they have more than 1 in hand. And backup Spelldancer, make it in. Let's go. Ancient Stirrings, okay. They were digging for a land off that first one. They just had to Ancient Stir to turn on Urza Saga, which they're going to get 1 or 0 constructs out of here. So, doing something in my upkeep. Just fetching, okay. I start with a Brainstorm, which temporarily turns off Force, but if I can oil up Spelldancer pre-combat shape, I don't need 5 lands. 4 is enough. I think I want this Sudden Edict. And fortunately, I think I got to ship a Morsel Theft here. And missing on the blue card is tough here. I'm going to fetch and shuffle now. Put Underground Sea into play. This way they can't Veil of Summer in response to a fetch and turn off Sudden Edict. They passed priority through this. They didn't even float colorless. And they were missing land drops. That's tough. Stirrings, go for it. I'm going to put Ponder on top of my deck with Mystic Sanctuary. It came up with a City of Traders here. There's a Painter. You got it. Sudden Edict is the perfect answer to this. I'm still going to Mystic Sanctuary for Ponder in the end step. Maybe I should have Edicted and then bought back Edict. Just cover it the next Painter. Whatever. Edict you. This one's very safe. Can't get Veil of Summered, can't get double Spirit Guided in response. Yeah, they floated green and then unfloated it. I think they do have the Veil. Also, Sheoldred's Edict doesn't target. I'm drawing a blue card. That gives me Force of Will, so I can go after the Morsels, as God intended here. By God, I mean Richard Garfield. I am going to do this. The whole reason we're here today. Give me those Morsels. Okay, the Morsels resolved. Oh, hell yeah. The Morsels cantripped into Hymn to Turok. Puts you down to 1 card in hand. If their last card in hand plus draw step is Painter plus Mana Source, they do actually have it here. They're passing the turn. Thoughtseize is good. Okay, I'm gonna go with Spelldancer first. I am going to double my Thoughtseize. I got plenty of life points thanks to my Morsels being stolen. And Voidwalker. And let's see if there's another Veil in hand. They did tap mana, then untap mana on their turn, making me think at least one of the cards is not a Veil. Okay, but one of them is. Sure. Okay. 2 cards in hand. Weren't good last turn. Let's hope they're still not now. Uh-oh. It's a Spirit Guide, casting Endurance, sure. And they just failed. They didn't need to do this. It's like the Thoughtseize resolved anyway. Okay, sweet. Opponent's at 3. I have an unblockable 3-power creature. They cannot, with the mana that they have, play Painter and activate Grindstone. They'd have to draw 2 cards somehow and then also execute. I don't care about Pithing Needle. Unblockable creatures, let's go. Name Mock Sapphire. For good measure. Styling. GG's. Leaving back Endurance to block. My 5 unblockable power. Okay, on to the next round. We finally did it. If you've ever wanted to learn how to play poker, there's no better way than PokerCoaching.com's Master the Fundamentals course, which I'm excited to give all of you for free. This course is separated into 19 short sections that will make sure you understand everything you need to know to play well and beat your friends. The first section is on the rules of the game, then you'll learn about hand ranges, equity, basic strategies, and a whole lot more. By the end of the course, you'll know everything you need to know in order to give you the best chance of success at No Limit Hold'em. Check out the link in the video description to PokerCoaching.com/free crash course. I'm on the draw for round 3. And I've got some Thoughtseizes and Hymn to Turoks. Let's go. I'm going to clear the launch pad for this True Name Nemesis, and then it's going to feast on my opponent's Morsels. Yavimaya go. Playing as another Veil of Summer deck. Don't care. Show it to me. Against a Yavimaya deck, I am going to lead on Swamp. They're crop rotating in response. For another Yavimaya? That's really interesting. Okay. They are just on Turbo Depths, which is kind of a problem for me. I have the 2 Edicts in my deck and 2 Brazen Borrowers. Thespian Stage is in play now. And okay, I'm going to Hymn to Turok and hope to hit the Depths. See Depths go to the graveyard right now. put this on easy mode. Yeah, Depth's Taiga gone. Baraka Savannah in the hand. This knight is spooky. I'm gonna brainstorm and try to hit a land. I gotta get ahead of this somehow. And I failed to do that. Okay. This is bad for everybody, but mostly me. Put back True Name. I'm gonna bobble them. See an Endurance. Thoughtseize them and probably just die. Yeah, 2 lands in hand. Okay. We're just dead. They're gonna wasteland me and then I can't function. The Knight of the Reliquary was a good find. You got a plateau with the flagstones and Dark Depths. Can't beat that either. I know my top card. It's Morsel Theft, which doesn't help. Okay. Well, there's that. Oh, I only had 1 Edict in the main anyway. Okay. Edict comes in. I don't think I want Force of Will. In Turok, their removal is white. And Thoughtseize is fine. Bobble's kind of slow. Snuff Out is good against everything that isn't Merit Lage in their deck. I think I'm going to trim the Morsels and actually not going to play Turok. Burning Nemesis is already Turok. Trim 1 Morsel Theft, bring in a Sudden Edict. Yeah, I am worried about Wasteland out of their deck, but I'll just try to outmuscle it. On the play, I'll keep this hand. It can answer Merit Lage, and it can beat up their hand before they can do anything about it. I can also fetch basic lands to do this on. Show me your thoughts. Your thoughts involve Sylvan Library. Could take the Zenith first. I'll just take the Library. I have Zenith covered with Snuff Out. I want to get my Spelldancer into play. Like Zenith. Right, Arbor's in play now. Basic Island. Spelldancer. Snuff Out. Trigger. Okay. Getting aggressive here. Here's the Saga that we saw in the hand. Ox Diamond. Cool. Now they can play the Endurance. Can also Brazen Borrow. I need to draw a land though. It's firing off Endurance in my upkeep. Sure. Not use my graveyard. Ponder could result in a land. Does that matter? Oh, I'm gonna do it. Right, it did result in many lands actually. Not shuffle my library, and we'll attack for 2. And do I want to Brazen Borrow a Theft both Endurance and Mox Diamond? Because that is there if I want to do it. I think I do. Get Underground Sea here, and I will Petty Theft both of these game objects. This might not set them back that far, but it's non-zero. It's a mana source that they discarded a card to make happen. Children's Edict on the double can clear, I could just name token. Discarded Flagstones to get their Mox back in. Once again with the upkeep Endurance. Sure. Rename Nemesis. Don't mind if I do. I attack them for 2 unblockable. And I'm just going to hold on to this Edict for if they ever make Merit Lage. Rename pretty good against the green-white deck. If they do make 1 construct on the way out here, that protects Merit Lage from Sheoldred's Edict. Not do that. Pyrite Spellbomb can clear Spelldancer, but I'm already bashing here, and I have the second wave waiting in exile here. They are clearing the Spelldancer. Good call. Burning off the extra mana. Also good call. Oh, yeah. Gonna attack with this one. I'd have to have Pyroblast in hand to punish the attack. Maybe I should have played the other True Name pre-combat. But alright, we're just in there. Multiple Nemesis. Dark Depths is answered if they produce it. Knight is pretty good. Knight's really big is the thing that Knight is. Oh my god, if only. Okay, Knight actually just bashes me on the swing back. I'm gonna attack with 1 True Name this turn. I can't afford for them to just like clap me for 9 here. I don't have them on a 2-turn clock. If they could put any lands in their graveyard, like Crop Rotation into Fetch Land is lethal. Just gonna sit back here, cast Brazen Borrower, let them make Merit Lage, clear it out, and hope that I'm ahead on the tempo swing by then. This matchup is tough though, because if anything, we're kind of a awkward tempo deck, like an awkward Delver deck, and this deck is built to chew up a regular Delver, which is significantly less awkward. Okay, moves are being made. Went for Dark Depths. They're making the Blade right now. Hope they don't have the ability to throw it at me. Minsk and Boo costs 4, but sometimes decks have played like Rite of Oblivion in the past, but I hope this is not one of them. Knight is now 9/9. Life from the Loam targeting only Urza Saga. Okay. That's allowed. Saga resolves, because that's the thing I can counter and everything. Now the question is, do I even play Brazen Borrower, or do I just Sheoldred's Edict? I can Sheoldred's Edict next turn, but then they'll have, nope, I need to do it now. Endurance can block. I guess I'll cast Brazen Borrower. Just trying to decide if this even does anything. All right, I'll put it into play. It blocks Merit Lage. Looted Delta. I'm almost in Time Warp. If I attack for 6 this turn, they are on a 1-turn clock, but Sheoldred's Edict doesn't even necessarily work. Okay, I'm gonna attack with 1 True Name Nemesis and try to rip the land for a Time Warp. Each opponent sacrifices a token creature. Do this right now before they can do anything about it. They'll probably Dredge Loam and just present the combo again. Then I'll rip a land and Time Warp them. Please, please, please. They did not Dredge Loam. So new plan. Please don't have Shadow Spear in your hand. Said in the chat, congratulations, I am entertained. I wonder if that's the first time they've run into Sheoldred's Edict. So as a Depths player, I'm sure everybody saw it on the spoiler and got mad about it. Sudden Edict doesn't do what just happened. Drop rotation. Leading the Urza Saga. Okay. Do you have a trample land of some kind here? Or what's going on? Thespian Stage. Okay, they're just making another Merit Lage. I can rip the land right now for Time Warp. I can draw Morsel Theft for the win. I've got a lot of outs here. Please, deck. I need this. All right, come on. Land. Land. Any land will do. I'll shock in a Watery Grave. I have the islands for Mystic Sanctuary. Come on, land. Fingers crossed. Land. No. Okay, so I'm dead then. I have to hope they literally don't have a land. All their attacking creatures are lethal, so... Oh wait, Spelldancer can block. Okay. I'm going to play Spelldancer, and I'm going to Thoughtseize them. Their hand is a land, I lose to Sujiri Step. Hope it's not. Okay. If they miss on a land, literally any land, I can still win. Any land, or if I attack with both... Yeah, if I attack with both, then a fetch land doesn't do it. Oh, it has to be a forest or plains. I can block. All right, I'm putting them to 1. Okay, fingers are crossed here. Opponents at 1. I can block Knight, block Merit Lage. Don't draw a forest or plains, please. Or a Swords to Plowshares. Or a Sujiri Step. There's a lot of bad draws in the deck. There's also a lot of good ones. No! Get the... Okay, whatever. We're dead. That sucked ass. So if I leave back... No, it doesn't matter. Clearing the Brazen Borrower kills me anyway. Yeah, drawing land, drawing Morsel Theft, drawing... I had so many draws there. Okay. That was a tight game. Sheoldred's Edict was good. True Name was good. On to the next one. We're a few rounds into the video. Thanks for sticking with me. Friendly reminder that if you're still here and having fun, smash that subscribe button. And if you want to play what I'm playing, you can use my affiliate link for TCG Player to support the channel while you shop for cards, and you can try any deck anytime with a cardhoarder.com loan account for Magic Online. All these links are in the video description below. Now back to the league. I'm on the play in round number 4. Round 4, right? Yes, round 4. Brain froze for a second there. Bobble gives me some information. If Dothy Voidwalker doesn't matter against this deck, this hand is kind of bad. Voidwalker matters against a lot of decks. I am going to keep. And I'm not going to sandbag Mishra's Bauble to trigger my Spelldancers. I'm going to use it for card selection right now. Scalding Tarn on top of my deck. I don't really want that. I'm going to fetch for Underground Sea and pass. This line does get blown out by Wasteland. Ponder helps a little bit if that happens, but hopefully I just stick a Voidwalker this turn and we can party. Uh-oh. What flavor? Uh-oh. This is even worse. Okay, Voidwalker better be good here. This is any kind of Echo Storm deck. Voidwalker will be pretty great. Let's do it. Okay, F6. Hope you need your graveyard. This is just the brown Mystic Forge deck. We're probably dead. But that's an Echo deck too, isn't it? I don't know. Garfield, take the wheel. They're just storming out with Mox Opals over there. And a Confluence in the deck is interesting. Okay, you are a Lion's Eye Diamond deck. What's the payout here? Are we going to hard cast an Echo out of necessity? That would be cool. Got 7 mana here to do it. 6 in the pool. Hell yeah. Okay, Dothy Voidwalker is doing great here. We'll have 3 red in the pool. Gamble is a lot worse with Voidwalker around. I found Thoughtseize, so if they pass the turn, I'm going to get a real poke at their hand. And a Morphos. Uh-oh. Anything could happen now. Burning Wish. Uh-oh. If there's a Grape Shot, they could kill my Voidwalker, peer into the Abyss. I hope this involves a turn pass. They peer now, I'm wrecked. But if they just float this out here and try to cast it next turn, Thoughtseize will ruin it. Oh my god. And I can peer into the Abyss in the Void if I want to. Bubbling me in my upkeep. Let's see a Hymn to Turok. Let's really break it down. Morsel theft. Okay, they saw that with their human eyes. That's embarrassing. I think I'm going to brainstorm and ponder for more options here rather than try to get Spelldancer going. Hymn to Turok. Let's party. Don't think I'm going to need to snuff out this game, and I now have way too many lands. With those thoughts, Thoughtseize is still better than him. Here, Into the Abyss is gone into the Void. Veil of Summer. It's a shame that you locked yourself out with your very own Fence Grid. Underground Sea, Ponder. Another Hymn. They will have enough to Veil with backup next turn. I'm just going to shuffle this and hope that I've done enough here. Start attacking. Sucks that Veil also blows out Morsel Theft. What a miserable accidental interaction in the Legacy format that is. Burning Wish in the hand. They could wish for a Grape Shot and set themselves free from the graveyard. If that's a thing that even the deck does. I don't know. Probably. Seems likely. Anamorphose was their draw. They had a Bauble trigger as well, so there's 2 cards I don't know in the hand right now. There's the Ancient Tomb. 3 mana floating. They have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana available. Burning Wish costs 2. They'd have 5 left. They can Veil, that's 1. And then Tendrils, but they need another black source. And that's only 4 Storm. If they can empty the Warrens, that's actually pretty good. Oh, no gamble, no future. See, let's see that Burning Wish leap. City of Trader's gone. Alright, gamble worked. If they gambled for Manamorphose, that gets them the black they need and builds a Storm for free. If they can creep into a Tendrils here, that's rough for me. Storm is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's not enough. Chrome Mox was either their draw for the turn or what they gambled for. That would be a suspicious gamble if true. Veil of Summers in exile. Okay. Fence Grid, Burning Wish, and whatever they gambled for are the cards in their hand. Here's Burning Wish. Grape Shot, sure. Okay. This can clear the Voidwalker and deal 2 to me. And let's hope they pass the turn after that. Or 3 to me, that's right. Grape Shot does get a base copy as well. They should probably put... Oh no, they have Defense Grid. I was about to say they should put 3 on it, just in case I counter 1, but that's not a concern that they have. Oh, they put the last copy on it. That means Grape Shot gets exiled. If they put 2 Storm copies on it first, they would have gotten to keep that in their graveyard. Alright, big relay. Defense Grid, last card in hand, and then relay, found a Veil. Gamble, and a Wish. Okay. That's pretty rough on my Turok plan. I could just steal their Morsels, put them to 4, but I think I should Spelldancer, Brainstorm, and hope to survive. This is way too many Turoks. Okay, I'll pass the turn. I don't think I'm dead with what they're showing me. They have black, black. Storm is 1, 2. I probably am, actually. Doesn't look good here. Or there's no, or it's Wish, not Burning Wish. In real life, I would just wait to see if they have it, but since I'm making content, I'm going to try to math it out myself. They have 5, 6, 7 mana. It'd be up to 9 with the 2 Chrome Mox. Oh, but they need to pitch things from their hand to get mana. And one of them is an artifact that doesn't pitch. So Storm can be 1, 2, E. Oh, wait, there's a green card under Chrome Mox. That's not super helpful. Oh no, do you just have an Echo in your hand? That's annoying. The one draw for turn was Echo. Is that what we're doing here? I hate my life. Yeah, they had 1 card in hand, it was Defense Grid, and now they have a full grip with these Chrome Moxes and can do whatever they want. They are dead to 1 attack from Spelldancer, and that did cost 6 mana to do that, and 5 life. I don't know. I'm not feeling good here. Mana Confluence puts you to 1. Rite of Flame. Should be plenty. Bergie. Oh yeah, we're so dead. Disappointing. Now I just have to hope they mess up, but Manamorphose makes that basically impossible. Why do they only have 2 cards in their hand? Didn't they just cast Echo of Eons? Oh, because they played a Chrome Mox and a land and Bergie and Rite of Flame. Okay, yeah. The cards are all accounted for. There's now black in the pool, which spells my demise. Another Rite of Flame from hand. Yeah, super dead. And yep, Wish for Tendrils. That's that. Pretty good draw off the top there. That's all right. We're pretty weak to Storm in game 1. Comes with the territory of choosing not to register Force of Will. Okay, though. It's in the sideboard. Earwig Squad for sure. Time Warp's out. Snuff Out's out. We just saw Bergie, but I'm still not going to put Snuff Out on my deck. Childred's Edict is out. Surgical's a lot more interesting in a deck with discard, especially knowing that they play Defense Grid. Her name might be way too slow. In the Morsel Theft, burst damage actually does matter in a matchup like this. Yeah, I think True Name is too slow, though it is a blue card. I'll cut some Morsels at the end of the chain here. Okay, this is what I'm doing. I'll keep my hand. It's got Null Rod, which is even better than Dothy Voidwalker. If I get a turn. Let's hope they spend a turn developing Defense Grid. Because if they wheel without Defense Grid, I could draw Force. I could also just not Ponder. Yeah, I'm just going to represent. Because if Ponder finds Force, I don't have a blue card anyway. I'm just going to hold this up, represent Spellpierce, Flusterstorm, etc. Make them think about everything. End step, I'll fetch for Watery Grave. That out of the way. And then hope that Null Rod ends the game on its own. If they're over there holding up Veil of Summer, I'm going to be disappointed with the outcome. If they Chain of Vapor, untap win, I'll be disappointed with the outcome. 2 mana Confluences. 2 Hymn to Turoks. I'm going to start with a Ponder. I'd rather put a creature into play this turn. Oh, there's 2 of them. Voidwalker is better. In this particular matchup, anyway. I put a second Hateful Permanent into play. Still playing around Veil of Summer where I can. Earwig Squad's Prowl trigger does target. It's sad all around. Veil of Summer is such a beat against this deck, but I guess I should have known that when I registered blue-black, which are the 2 targeted colors of Veil of Summer. Okay, Ancient Tomb. Lots of mana available now. Where are we going with this? Oh, Bergie. Are we dead? Is there more? Is it just a 3/3 body? Okay. There are cards still being played. They are artifacts, but they do make red mana now. I love Bergie so much, even though she's dumpstering me right now. That is one of my top all-time favorite permanents to have in play. Only the front half, though. The horn is stupid. And the horn is great. You're going to win most games where you have a horn, but Bergie is the one that actually gets me excited. Okay, we got a Burning Wish, which can at least Grape Shot if they don't have a better place to go. Ooh, Shattering Spree. That's cool. That breaks the Null Rod, and then they can figure out Voidwalker later. Stuff. Yep. Thought the Voidwalker's still in the way. Glad I had 2 pieces of hate here, because they just bashed the first one. But now they went from 1 mana to 4 very quickly. Or now 5. 2 cards left in the hand. Storm is 6, though. That's plenty. Another Burning Wish. They cannot Tendrils with what they have. Or 1, 3, yeah. Just a little Grape Shot. Does stabilize the board. And then I have to beat the 3-power creature. They targeted the Voidwalker with the original Grape Shot again, putting it in the void instead of the graveyard. Take my small percentages where I can get them. 1 card left in the hand. Is it a second Grape Shot? Bobbled. They passed the turn. Okay. I'd love to see a Spelldancer here. Or Brazen Borrower is even better. Alright, Spelldancer. I'm in. Okay, please don't have that Veil that I've been worried about for the whole game. Big swing or big blowout here. And it's the only play I have. Jit. Blowout mode. Okay. Cleared the Veil. They've got 3 cards going into their turn. They don't go off right now. I might be able to wig them next turn. It's also a pretty quick clock in addition to being a Jester's Cap. Mox Opal is currently not on. Now it is. Great. Bergie getting that sweet, sweet damage in, lowering the storm count. Okay, I'm getting a turn. Second Earwig. I think I just want to wig out here. They just showed me that their hand doesn't kill me. And Veil stops Earwig as well, but at least I get to put a 5/3 into play. Angle with Bergie. They don't have the Veil, they're just getting wigged. Okay. What do I want to remove? Is it the Echoes? If I take Burning Wish, where's the actual wish? Did they board that out? Burning Wish. Are they out of win conditions? Relay, Echoing Truth, Echo of Eons. Yeah, they can't actually win if these 2 Burning Wishes are out. So that probably means that actual wish is in their hand. Okay. Or more likely than they boarded it out. I think so. Alright, I'll take one of the Echoes. 2 Burning Wishes and an Echo are gone. I would have taken an LED if there wasn't one already in play. LED sets up Echo while doing other things. Echo is mostly just a blob. 5 mana. Are they going to horn? They are going to horn. Okay. Is the unknown card... They discarded a Rite of Flame. The last card in their hand... And they... Okay, so they're hellbent and can't actually win. My understanding of this game correct? And I think we're just spinning wheels here. They're hellbent with some wheels in their deck, but no way to actually win. Unless I miss something while looking at their deck. In which case, I'm disappointed. Okay, they're just passing the turn. I think they realize they've lost. I'm gonna get them with another wig. They're trading with the first Earwig. Still taking damage from a rogue. Is the second one worth a concession? Weren't scared of the first one. Okay. Bergie. Now they can't even attack me for 3. And then 2 Echoes. And I don't even care if they do Echo. I'm going to take the Shatter Skull Smashings and the Bergies. That way they can't remove my creatures. I suspect they're just going to take a draw step, then concede. Or flip 2 cards to horn and then concede. Discard a Mana Confluence, flip 2 Metamorphoses. Alright, so we have to watch them draw a few more cards first, and then they'll give up. Okay, F6. Important to note, I don't mean to keep harping on it, but if they had stacked this Grape Shot so it ended up in the graveyard, wheeling until they hit Grape Shot is a line to win the game. But instead, they do not have that. Discarded Lotus Petal to flip Lotus Petal Mox Opal. Discard, or casting Gamble. Oh, great. We have to watch them draw 7 some more. I guess there is a Bergie in the graveyard if they want to attack for 3. Okay, they got to look at their deck. That's what they were waiting for. It's just verifying they were out of win cons. Cool. mean, Berkey is mega cracked. I still don't think it's worth a snuff out in my deck. So, if Force of Will for Berkey, I can Thoughtseize or hit her with a Hymn. Hydroblast hits Berkey. That's a big deal. You have Hydroblast in the deck. I could cut 2 Baubles. They step on my Null Rod anyway, get a Snuff out in and some blue card to build out my Force protection. The Dress Down also turns off Berkey for the turn and adds my blue count. Do I just want 2 Dress Downs then? But Dress Down also turns off Voidwalker, which could, in turning off Berkey, turn off my hate piece as well. I'll do 101. First appearance of Force of Will in the matchup. I'm keeping this. It needs a second land. I wish I had a discard spell, but Force and Fluster versus what's going on here. And Hydroblast. Sign me up. Yeah, they've seen discard and hate pieces. They haven't seen a single counterspell out of me yet. We've got a Mox Opal, or Mishra's Bauble, Chrome Mox, not a Mox Opal. Mishra's Bauble, Chrome Mox. Another Chrome Mox. They're going deep on something here. This could be a Relay. Should force this. If I force this and they have Galvanic Relay, they're just in the dirt. Yeah, what card could even be in their hand that I care about now? Yeah, Gamble for nothing. Yeah, okay. It was either Relay or Echo. Holding the Force would have been better versus Echo, but it's much worse versus Relay. They're hellbent, so all of my discard is off. I'm going to suspiciously pass the turn and not cast the Ponder they just saw. Any blue mana source gets this Echo onto the stack, and I want to fluster it. That's not blue. Draw Berkey. What's going on here? Galvanic Relay for 1. I'm going to let them have that. They flipped Defense Grid. Shit. Shouldn't have let them have that. Or they would have just drawn it anyway. It's the same card. Okay. I am going to Ponder here because there's a chance I won't be able to fluster anyway. Ponder, really hoping to find a land though. Okay, we found the land. And off we go. If they draw a 0 mana source of blue, they can blow me TFO here. Okay, they found Ancient Tomb, sure. And that's still bad news for the future. I would like to get my rogues going so I can wig them. Wigging them before they find blue mana is my way out of this game. Okay, pass the turn. Don't draw a blue source. No! Okay. Shit. Yeah, like, I'm not going to say I tried to get clever and blew it on that Force of Will on Mox Opal. It's just like, if that was Galvanic Relay, it's so right. But because it was Gamble instead, it was just risky. All right, well, now they have Berkey and the other shit under Defense Grid. Am I just supposed to hit that Galvanic Relay? I guess it guarantees that they don't get 2 cards in a row. Like they would either hit the counterspell or the... Yeah, maybe I'm just supposed to Hydroblast that Relay. Strictly worse, draw 1 card. Worth countering in that spot. It probably is. I would like to get a turn, but I mean, they are Burning Wishing with Berkey in play, so it seems unlikely. Taking another spin here. And we're gambling. Please discard. It doesn't even matter. This gamble is just free storm. Yeah, they get another LED. Okay, here comes another 7 with billions of mana floating. Berkey in play. Yeah, they're just storming. The 2 decision points were... Yeah, now they can get tendrils. The 2 decision points here were forcing the Mox Opal versus waiting to see what they cast out of it. Or... That turn 1, they couldn't gamble and Echo anyway. They were a mana short to do all of it, so playing around Relay, I'm not going to back down from that. I think Hydroblasting the Galvanic Relay last turn, though, was worth doing. Because sitting here with Flusterstorm in my hand, and they have a lot of mana. Maybe Fluster doesn't even do it, and holding up Hydroblast is better long term. In perfect hindsight, Hydroblasting the Relay for 1 copy would have been correct. But I don't know if that makes it generally correct. It had to be Defense Grid. Their top 2 cards had to be Blue Source Defense Grid, full stop. Any other combination of things I just stuff. So, okay. I'm not on tilt. I'm just for the people who think, why is he sitting here talking about this so long? I'm just trying to genuinely figure out if I punted this or if I took reasonable lines that just didn't work this time. All right. Either way, final round coming. For the absolute best Magic the Gathering apparel on the market, check out the link in the video description to coalesceapparel.shop and be sure to use the code BoshNRoll for 10% off when you check out. I'm on the play in the final round. I think this is the first play I've gotten. Or no, I was on the play versus Storm because I had the Voidwalker in play. Okay. I have a Thoughtseize and a Spelldancer hand, though. I'm going to rock it. Okay, we've got a 60-card Blue Zenith deck. I'm going to take the Brainstorm. There's 2 mana dorks in the hand between Ignoble Hierarch and Green Sun Zenith. I can't take them off ramp. I can Edict the ramp once it's there. Or I could Spelldancer and invest in the future. Yeah, I think I want to Spelldance here. The alternative is Edict them, then they ramp anyway, and they've still ramped as we enter my Spelldancer phase of the game. Yeah, I'm just going to Spelldance now. Hope they can't Zenith for a kill spell. Moloch isn't on Magic Online yet. Uro, okay. This is more ramp, but it's ramp that lines up worse against Shieldred's Edict. Thoughtseize, that might be necessary here. I'm going to ponder first, see if I can get a double this turn. Okay, I can double Thoughtseize this turn, and then kill some Morsels next turn. Let's go. Ponder again. Get my oil up. Shit. I just misclicked. Can I Control Z this? Oh no, my Morsels. Didn't want Flusterstorm. I wanted Morsel left. I guess I'm going to shuffle. Bummer. Haha, shuffled into it. Motobug for the win. Okay, I'm going to attack my opponent. Thoughtseizing them twice does turn on Uro. But I Brazen Borrower. Okay, I can handle it. He sees you. Unfortunately, Thoughtseize, the 2 life, is part of the resolution of the effect. Unlike some of these other cards that I'm playing, where the life loss is a cost to cast the spell. I'm taking Endurance and Zenith. I don't care about Force of Will. And is Misty Rainforest and Force of Will. Uro will be annoying. Maybe I am supposed to take Force and it's Endurance I don't care about. Oh no. What are you doing? You have more spells? Stop. Ponder. Okay, any blue card in the hand is good for them. They chose to shuffle, though. They are operating at random right now. I cannot double spell this turn. I just got to Petty Theft the Arrow and hope they didn't draw a blue card. Okay, it's gone. Sweet relief. I'm going to attack, and I'm not going to oil down this turn because I don't have any mana to do anything. Do not oil down. Uro's back. I'll show them the real Uro next turn when I double my Morsel Theft. Okay, no land drop off the Uro. That means they have 4 spells in their hand. One of them's Ponder, one of them's Force. I'm not in the mood for a removal spell. Please don't do that. They chose to shuffle again. Ignoble Hire, or Noble Hire to go with Ignoble. 2 cards left, one of them's Force. For 2, makes sense. Okay. I did not draw the land I was looking for here. I can still Morsel Theft twice, and then that's 2 draws. I'm going to do that. And it's not for the memes. I genuinely think drawing 2 is worth doing here. And oil down. Yes. Give me those Morsels. They don't really care about the life because they've Uro'd so many times, but drawing 2 cards here is really good for me. And if they force one of the copies, I don't even care. And I just get a Hymn to Tarok and draw a card and drain. Really like the land, though. Okay, we got there on the land. I'm going to play another Spelldancer. And off we go. Okay, they did have Force blue card at the end of the day. Force pitching Force, sure. Alright, gotta answer another Uro now. I can put True Name in front of it, but that's not a winning fight long term. Uro is the reason black fell off as a viable color in Legacy, and Uro's at pretty much an all-time low right now, but here we are queuing into an Uro deck in our mono discard strategy. And they have 2 mana dorks now. Doubling Shoulder's Edict doesn't even get me there. Oh, now they have 3. Cool. Taking 3 from these beats. Good thing I gained 6 last turn. Mystic Sanctuary. Ship the Morsels. I'm going to Thoughtseize first. See what this last card is. Hope it's not a land. Zenith, that was a great hit. Best possible. And I'm actually going to Mystic Sanctuary a Morsel Theft. I wonder if anyone's ever done that in the history of Magic. True name you, and I'll get my 2 points in. And passing the turn. They're going to bash with Uro and draw their card, and I'll block and at least absorb the damage. If they have Dress Down, they can blow me out here, but I'm not going to play around Dress Down. And take 9, just go to 2. It's not a thing I can play around. Okay, I'm drawing Morsel Theft. I need to attack with just Spelldancer, because I lose if the true name becomes tapped at any point. Did not get Shadow Realmed by a removal spell. That's good news. I would like to double this. And Prowl. Let's get another 12-point swing and draw 2, which is, you know, only slightly worse than attacking, or only slightly better than attacking with Uro, which is what my opponent's doing. Right, they're forcing one of these. Let's look at the other one. Another Spelldancer, and I will deploy that, I suppose. All right, we're in the danger zone. Basically need a Voidwalker and a Snuff Out to stabilize now. Right, they're spewing off bonus Uros. Not even worried about it over there. Shoulder's Edict looking terrible right now. They drew a Snuff Out? Okay. I have 2 of those. It's all good. Okay, found Voidwalker. Spelldancer is not going to block. I can attack with that one. And then Voidwalker can deploy. And I can drop Brazen Borrower this turn. But now there's a second Uro in the graveyard, so even if I snuff out this one, they're not free. Or I guess they won't be able to get enough escape. So it's fine. I'm going to cast Brazen Borrower and trade with Strix. I can stabilize the attacking, put a Strix into the void. All that seems reasonable. I'm not really pushing for damage through an Uro anyway. And they could just stop attacking with Strix if they care. Alright, had the Fatal Push. And so little matters when Uro is attacking. Just insane. I love that card so much. Another Snuff Out. Cool. It's just True Name versus the world now. Okay, I drew my Snuff Out. Did they have a counterspell for it? I'm not going to attack because I'm not winning the race. The triple Exalted is significantly a problem. And Uro's back again. Got to imagine this Green Sun Zenith deck, some answer to this. Even if it's like go wide with Primetime or just outvalue me with Strixes. And with Zenith, they can't deck. Yeah, I can save us all some time on this one. I'm just not going to get there. I don't need to waste all of our lives pretending I can. Okay, I want Surgical Extraction. Deal with Uro. And Flusterstorm's fine. Snuff Out, or Shoulder's Edict can edict itself right out of here. I don't want Force of Will. That is in the correct spot for this matchup. It's going to be a great Time Warp matchup. They're not a white deck, so Turok is just a large-ish creature with more discard attached. I think I need to maintain velocity here. Maybe one less him and up Surgical. Yeah, I want to keep all my baubles. I need to be attacking, and I need to be morseling to actually win. The old Snuff Out 6-lander. Mulligan that. Alright, I will keep this. Green Zenith decks are usually Wasteland decks, but those are also usually Yorion decks. I'm not sure if this build will have room for Green Sun Zenith in it, or room for Wasteland in it with only 60 cards. But I am going to ponder now. Alright, we got there. Blocking the land in my hand. I have Snuff Out on top that can kill a mana dork. Thoughtseize, okay. Spelldancer is safe on second from the top of my deck. Now I wish I stacked Spelldancer above. I am going to ponder. I will put Spelldancer in my hand, and I'll put him to Turok 2 down. I want the land so I can protect my Spelldancer with Flusterstorm. And then if we get to a him game state, good news. But you can't just draw him against Uro decks. Because if they discard Uro, you just concede. Okay, they've seen the Flusterstorm. I'm not going to surprise anybody with that. I hope that they just leave me alone and let me him to Turok with Flusterstorm back up next turn. Hope they don't have Abrupt Decay in their deck. That would be some shit. Take my 1 from Strix. Stuff out. Well, they can conveniently pay for Flusterstorm through all of that. Hate that for me. And their creature's black, so I can't even snuff out to build Storm. I don't even want him to Turok. It's not even good. I'm going to have to shuffle here. They very quickly stabilized and made this game look really bad for me. And I don't have a Plague Engineer in my list, which would be a delight. Name Bird. Not a card I included. Those Force of Wills ate up a lot of sideboard slots. Okay, they do have Wasteland. And they do have Uro, which we knew already. This one is quickly sliding out of reach. I need to basically brainstorm into Surgical Extraction and a real threat right now. They've seen one of the Brazen Borrowers, so they're not even going to give me a good attack with Baleful Strix. I think I have to Mystic Sanctuary for Ponder and just try to do anything right now. If I find Surgical, we will at least still be playing the game. Snuff out True Name. I gotta shuffle this. Okay, guess I'm snuffing out an Uro, which is just the best feeling on the earth. They can Wasteland me to get to 5 escape cards. If their deck has a loam in it, this Wasteland will win it for them. Wasted my Sanctuary. Here's Uro. I'm gonna Brazen Borrow it in response to its trigger. I don't want them to have Veil or Flusterstorm. Just take this thing out of play, please. No land. 7 spells in hand over there. Okay, Brainstorm, fix this for me. I need you now. Oh no. I guess I will play this out for all of you, for the benefit of you at home. I do have a Brazen Borrower in exile. It's unlikely to connect because they have 2 flying blockers. Okay. They must have drawn another one or an out to Brazen Bee. Uro. Found a land. Right, I'll cast this Brazen Borrower. Upkeep, I'll fetch. Snuff out. Sure. And Snuff out and Uro is a combo. There's another Brazen Borrower. Okay. The lessons we're learning here are that blue-black have to play from ahead is pretty anemic. Or the Force of Will experiment is not a good one. Those are potential lessons we've learned here. Because if you need to play from ahead, pitching 2 cards to counter just anything at all is probably fine. Another Uro. Brainstorm into another Uro. And I think I should just shove Brazen Borrower. I'm not going to Petty Theft a cantrip. So I'll shove Brazen Borrower in just in case I draw a Morsel Theft. If they have another Snuff out for this. Do not currently. I'll attack for 3. First damage of the game. Count it. Start the comeback. Spelldancer. I'm now winning the damage race. Assuming those 7 cards in their hand don't do anything. Which is the only assumption I can make at this point. Snuff out targeting Spelldancer. Can't stop it. Searching for basic island. This gives them Uro. Oh god, Fatal Push as well. If I Flusterstorm this, 1, 2, 3... If they have a surprise land drop, they could still Uro this turn. Okay, I'm going to try to protect my creature. They could just pay it, take their 2 for 1, or, yeah, it's a 2 for 1. Take their 2 for 1, and Uro next turn, which is perfectly viable. Damaging Ooze, okay. Here come the Strixes, and I'm likely to concede after this next draw step. Let's see what it is. Can't imagine what would get me back into this. And it's not a polluted delta. All right, we're out of here. Okay, we tried an experiment, and parts of it I thought were cool, and parts of it didn't work. I don't like the no Force of Will thing. If we bring in Force of Will, we don't need 3 hymns, we don't need 4 Thoughtseizes. The baubles are kind of medium. They're really only there to trigger Mercurial Spelldancer, but Ponder or Brainstorm and all our discard spells do that too. Go down to 1 bauble. The Mystic Sanctuary was actually sweet. I don't regret that. Morsel Theft. I was doing a proof of concept with playing 4 copies of this. You probably want 3 and 4 Snuff Out instead, or diversify your removal with some Fatal Pushes, or even Murderous Cut is probably fine. This deck doesn't use its graveyard for anything else. And that opens up sideboard space for things like the Plague Engineer that I mentioned. You could play another Null Rod if we really don't want to lose to Storm. I don't think Sudden Edict is where I want my sideboard to be. Shoulder's Edict is interesting as a sideboard card because it's so good against specifically Merit Lage. And then we can play Fatal Push in that main deck slot for a more targeted removal spell. With Force of Will in the deck, Brazen Borrower becomes less important too, because now we actually have answers to things like Chalice of the Void. We go down to 3 Morsels, another Fatal Push. In the Time Warp, you could just make another True Name Nemesis. I am trying to leverage the Spelldancer a little bit. The fact that it's an unblockable rogue that sometimes casts 2 Ponders isn't really doing it for me. If we don't have Expressive Iteration in the deck, I want some sort of banger like Morsel Theft or Time Warp to double with it. Hymn to Turok, like we saw in this league a couple times. Sometimes your opponent just runs out of cards. That's a problem with critical mass discard decks, is your opponent is eventually hellbent and then discard doesn't work anymore. You can add another Hydroblast just to give us 15 sideboard cards. I think this is already an improvement. The Flusterstorm spot could be another Thoughtseize, could be another Hymn. You can mess around with that. You can make it 2 Preordains if you just want heavy Spelldancer velocity. You could play Drown in the Lock in this deck. There's a lot of things you could do here. Cling to Dust is a thing that Dimir decks were doing for a while out of respect for Uro. Just a reasonable card you can put in your main deck. I am actually going to turn a Flusterstorm into a Cling to Dust right away. That can trigger Spelldancer while drawing cards and make use of the graveyard that we're otherwise not using. I think this is already a quantum leap in the right direction. We did get to double Morsel Theft a couple times, and it was as good as advertised. I'm not sure the juice is worth the squeeze on playing all these rogues and playing these weird spells. Like the Grixis deck that I played 2 weeks ago, I think was much more satisfying. This, as sweet as Morsel Theft is, doubling Expressive Iteration is hard to deny. I love the one of Time Warp though. It sucks we didn't get to fire it off, but that's the type of thing that can really crack Spelldancer into an insane different universe. Even if you don't do the Morsel stuff, put a Time Warp in your deck. It's going to be sweet. And that's where we're going to lead that one. Jeremy, my birthday present to you is acknowledging the Force of Will belongs in the main deck. Your favorite card, it's back where it belongs. Thank you for asking me to play a league for you. This was a fun one to explore. Everybody, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Check out the links in the video description that support the channel, and I'll see you next time.